According to an ancient legend from the Khorezm region, the human body was formed from clay, but its parts lay separate from one another. A divine voice commanded, "Enter the body." The soul entered, but immediately fled in fear. The command came again. The soul replied, "I am afraid." Then a divine music resonated from the heavens. Enchanted by this sound, the soul unknowingly entered the body. First the fingers, then the wrists, then the whole body came to life. That music, the legend concludes, was Lazgi. In this video, I will argue that Khorezmi Lazgi constructs its cultural meaning not just through lyrics or legend, but through a combination of elements: its historical roots, its material culture, its performance style, and its musical structure, specifically rhythm, texture, and melody. So, Lazgi originates from Khorezm region in western Uzbekistan, an ancient land surrounding the Amudariya River near the Aral Sea. This region was once a major intellectual and artistic hub along the Silk Road. Long before Islam, Khorezm practiced Zoroastrianism, a religion centered on the worship of fire and the sun. Lazgi began not as entertainment but as a ritual practice. Dancers moved like flames, flickering, leaping, trembling, invoking warmth, life, and divine energy. The word Lazgi comes from an old Khorezmian term meaning to tremble or to shudder, according to the High Asia media. As the women's magazine El Uzbekistan notes, is the dance of fire and love and is widely known as the soul of Uzbek people. Lazgi is most commonly performed at Uzbek weddings, though it doesn't occur during the religious nikah ceremony nor the Fatiha Tui engagement. Rather, it is reserved for the evening wedding feast that follows. During this feast, family and friends gather in circles, clapping rhythmically as dancers execute the signature trembling movements. This clapping is not merely accompaniment, it establishes a call-and-response dynamic between the dancer and the audience, transforming the performance into a collective exchange, as you can see here. The rhythmic foundation is provided by professional musicians playing doira, surnay, and kayrak. In rural areas of Khorezm, such acoustic ensembles remain the standard. In urban settings, however, DJs and amplified sound systems have become increasingly common. Nevertheless, this participatory energy of Lazgi persists regardless of the medium. Beyond weddings, Lazgi features prominently in national holidays. During Nowruz, the Persian New Year celebrated on the spring equinox, communities perform Lazgi as part of festivities that welcome renewal and vitality. On Independence Day, which is September the 1st, professional troops present choreographed routines on state stages, offering the dance as a representation of Uzbek national pride. The tradition is sustained through oral transmission, passed from older generations to younger ones without formal notation. This practice ensures that each performance carries subtle regional variations, preserving both continuity and adaptability. In 2019, UNESCO officially added Lazgi to the representative list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. This recognition affirms that Lazgi is more than a stage performance. It's a tradition carried forward by specific musical instruments and the communities who craft and play them. With that in mind, let us turn directly to those instruments. The core ensemble of Lazgi features three essential pieces in material culture: the doira, surnay, and the kayrok. Doira is a large frame drum with metal rings attached to the inner circumference. The player holds the drum vertically or slightly tilted, and strikes the skin with both hands, while simultaneously shaking the instrument to activate the jingles. The doira serves as the rhythmic backbone of Lazgi, establishing 6-8 meter and leading tempo changes. Its sharp, dry attacks and shimmering jingle accents syncopate with the dancer's trembling movements. Meanwhile, surnai is a conical, double-reed woodwind instrument carved from apricot or mulberry wood, with a flared bell at the lower end and 7 or 8 finger holes along the body. Its sound is loud, piercing, and brilliant, capable of cutting through the noise of outdoor weddings and street parades. Surnai carries the melodic line, sustaining long phrases with ornamentation, while doira maintains the rhythmic foundation. Last but not least, kairak is a percussion instrument consisting of 2 pairs of flat, polished stones, typically dark-colored, held in the hands and struck or shaken against each other to produce rhythmic clicking sounds. In Khorezm, one pair is often made of stone while the other is made of metal, creating a brighter, more distinct tonal quality. Among all the pieces in the Lazgi repertoire, Lazgi Afsonası by Hulker Abdullayeva, which is The Legend of Lazgi, offers the clearest illustration of the dance's form and style. In this piece, the dance begins slowly. The dancer's fingers and wrists tremble barely noticeably, then the vibration spreads to the elbows, shoulders, and full torso. Throughout, the dancer maintains bent limbs, curved arms, and slightly flexed knees, creating an angular silhouette unique to Khorezmian choreography. Performance style differs by gender. Women, like Abdullayeva herself, dance in a lyrical and humorous manner. Light footwork, playful expressions, delicate hand gestures. Men adopt a heroic, courageous stance, wider stances, strong leaps, forceful arm movements, yet both share the same trembling core and the same musical foundation. Now, let me explain the rhythm and meter in more detail. As I mentioned earlier, Lazgi's rhythm is metric and is built on a 6-8 meter compound meter. That means 6-8 notes in each bar, usually felt as 2 groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6-8 meter produces a lively, forward-driving pulse that never pauses. The doira skin strikes produce a steady thud on each beat, like a heartbeat that keeps pushing ahead. But that steady beat alone does not make the dancer tremble. What makes Lazgi tremble is the doira's metal jingles. These rings produce syncopated accents, sharp clicks that land between the main pulses. So instead of a predictable thud thud thud, you hear irregular click thud click click patterns, like embers popping from a fire. Here is an example. Listen to the jingles between the beats. It is not only about solo movement and rhythm, but it's also about how people and instruments interact, what we call texture. Lazgi uses a specific type of texture known as heterophony. This means 2 or more musicians play the same basic melody or rhythm at the same time, but each adds small variations. In Lazgi, the doira and kairak create this effect. Kairak, or in other words, the stone castanets we saw earlier, add sharp, dry clicks that interlock with the doira's jingles. They are not playing in unison, instead, they fill each other's gaps, creating a layered, conversation-like sound. Often, dancer plays the kairak themselves, adding a third layer. The clicks lock directly onto footwork, making the dancer part of the ensemble. A clear call-and response emerges. The lead musician plays the phrase, the audience responses. The dancer moves, the audience claps back. In this way, heterophonic texture does more than accompanying the dance. It becomes the musical foundation of the community. Doira and kairak handle texture and rhythm. The melodic line is carried by the surnai, which is not simple nor it is straight. It's filled with ornamentation, rapid grace notes, trills, and vibrato. They sound like a human voice capturing with emotion, a sigh, a flutter, and a trembling breath. In the legend I shared in the beginning, the soul hesitated, afraid to enter the body. The Surnai's ornaments capture the hesitation, I would say a shiver before commitment. Melody, rhythm, and texture in place, we come back to the legend and ask, why does all this matter? It is not a folk dance preserved in archives, but a living practice that animates weddings, spring festivals, and national celebrations across the country. After independence, Uzbekistan actively revived Lazgi as a pillar of its cultural identity, and in 2019, UNESCO recognized it as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. The three musical elements analyzed in this video, such as the 6/8 meter with syncopated jingles, the heterophonic texture of Doira and Kairog, and the ornamented Surnay melody from Makam Irast, connect contemporary Uzbek dancers to Zoroastrian fire rituals and the oral traditions of Khorezm. Lazgi survives and thrives because it serves essential purposes. It brings people together in celebration. It strengthens social and cultural unity. And it also helps to preserve the unique heritage of Khorezm, which is why this dance remains a vital part of Uzbek culture today.